Not everyone is meant to be an entrepreneur. And this conversation not going to be loved by everyone, but it is the truth. I see so many people leave their 9 to 5 because they believe that being an entrepreneur is going to make them happier. It's very similar to I'll be happier when type of people, right? I'll be happier when I find, the partner of my dreams. I'll be happier when I'm a millionaire. I'll be happier when blah, blah, blah. And I've talked about this before. And the saddest thing to me is seeing somebody leave a full-time job and be just as miserable doing the thing that is supposed to be their passion, that they're supposed to be convicted about, that they want to help people or change other people's lives or provide a service for people or provide even an amazing product to people, right? And so this makes me very, very sad. I've been reading a lot, specifically in the Bible, about entrepreneurship and business owners and things like that. And really, it deeply is about serving people. So I'm not saying you can't get into business to make money, because you should make money. Otherwise, you have a really expensive hobby. However, when the intention is just to make money, that is fleeting, right? If the intention is just to hit a major milestone, that is also fleeting because there's always going to be another milestone. It doesn't mean don't create goals. It doesn't mean any of that, but it means where is your intention and where are you focusing mostly when it comes to growing your business? Are you focusing on serving and supporting those people that you believe or hopefully know and you're very certain that you have something that can transform their life, transform their time, transform their health, whatever it is that you do, right? And so when you leave a 9 to 5, you don't get like stars for everything that you do. There's a lot of mindset that, well, I worked 40 hours this week, so I should get 40 hours of pay in return. We're so used to that model and we've been taught that model, right? From working an hourly job or working a salary job. And it's like you put in the time, you will get the results. And it's not always equal as an entrepreneur. It really isn't, because as an entrepreneur, as an employee, you're doing your job. You may be doing a variety of things, but for the most part, you're doing your job, whatever role you signed up for. As an entrepreneur, unless you have a team, most likely you are the CEO, you are the marketer, you are the face of the brand, you are the content creator, you are the email expert, you are the events coordinator, you're the financial person, you are the decision maker. You are wearing all these hats. If you do have like 1099 employees or employees, you're also the manager, right? So there's so many roles that we literally take a hat off and switch into when it comes to entrepreneurship. And so I want you to think about this, because some people do get into business because they think it's going to be easier, but I have yet to find that. Do things get easier because I stretch myself? Absolutely. Is video way easier today than it was in 2016, 2017, even 2019? Yes, 100%. However, I still do it. I saw a post by someone who is a business coach, well known, and she said, I still and have for 10 years, I am on 2 new podcasts as a guest every single week to build my brand. For 10 years. She's very well known. She's written a book. She has a methodology that she sold. I'm sure she has a crap ton of clients. But twice a week, she is still a guest on podcasts because she understands the power of visibility and also getting outside of your current audience. There's this quote that I heard in 2019. I was at a conference, and I don't know the original person that said it, but the person who said it on stage, said, your business will never outgrow you. And a lot of times we get into this business thing and we think, this is going to be great. I'm great. It's going to be amazing. And then what happens is we realize there's some things I've never worked on. There's some things I need to work on. And I can choose to ignore them and think I'm good and it's everybody else, or I can choose to work on them and get better, and my business is going to be better for that. It's very similar to, I tell my clients and my audience all the time, there are things that you will always be refining as a business owner. You will always be refining, hopefully, your mindset. Number one, your inner work, your emotional intelligence. Number two, you will always be refining your marketing. And that includes your content, your messaging, your visibility strategy, your email strategy, your sales strategy, right? Your offer strategy. You'll always be refining those things. They're not going to go away. They're not ever just going to be like, this is the way we do it, and it's always going to work forever and ever and ever and ever, and I never need to do this again. It is not that way. It is always going to get to be refined over and over and over and over and over. The question is, are you willing to refine it? Or are you just like, well, it's working right now, so it'll continue to work? You know, this is another thing that I hear. Like, if something works, all we need to do is rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. Do you know how many times I've rinsed and repeat? It does not always work the same way it did the first time. Why? Because the first time I was a different person. The first time, maybe I was less jaded. The first time, I was so excited and my energy was so different than the fifth time. So the results, of course, are going to be so much better. I was reading about presence, and I'm teaching a program right now. If you're watching this in real time, I'm teaching a program called Visible and In Demand, and about your presence and the word present. And what does that mean? I'm going to have to get the definition for you because I thought this was really fascinating, because I was like, where do we talk about presence? I always love going to the Bible. And what does the Bible say about this? I think it's fascinating. And I asked for the biblical term of presence. And then what do we today think that the word presence means? So in the world, it means nearness, energy, and the impression you leave. It's like when someone walks in the room and everybody turns. They look at them. There's something they're giving off that they feel that. Also, the same thing is true if somebody is upset in your house sometimes and you walk in and it feels really thick and heavy, you can feel that, right? Biblically, it means it's a spiritual force, a revealed reality of who or what is in the room. And it's something you carry because you are made in the image of God, who is presence. And I was like, this is really good. This is really good. And so when we have that presence, right, it's going to come across in many different ways. I don't even know where I was originally going with this, but I'm probably going out on left field. It's okay, because that's the way, whatever I'm saying is meant to be said. There's no script here. But I know that the more present we are in everything we do, the more presence we bring to every conversation. That can be when it comes to getting on video. That can be when it comes to writing that email. That can be when it comes to writing that piece of content or creating that Instagram carousel. That can be when it comes to sharing a story on Instagram or Facebook. Again, what presence are you bringing to the table? And are you present in the things that you do? A lot of times, another reason why people struggle being business owners is because they're wanting the next milestone, right? They want the next thing. They want the next thing. They want the next thing. And there's always going to be another next thing. But if you're not enjoying what is it? They say on your tombstone, there's like the dash, like what happens in the dash is important. So the same thing is true in your milestone. So here's like dash, like the date here that I started my business. And then that dash happens, right? Until the first milestone. What happens in the dash? Are you enjoying the dash? Are you present in the dash so that your presence in everything you do, it just like people feel that. and the way that you come across and the way that you present yourself and the way that you speak on stages and the way that you come across on video and the way that you speak to your clients and the way that you teach when it comes to if you teach things, right? If you're a coach or you have programming or courses or things like that. So things do get easier, but they're not just like, here's a silver platter. Welcome to the business world. You are going to win. It is guaranteed. You literally just sit there, manifest it. It'll all come and land on your lap. That is not what happens, friends. It is a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. It is a lot of reps. We get better at things for the more reps that we put in. I have done thousands and thousands and thousands of videos. I'm still not as good as I could be. I will continue to improve over and over and over. But the problem is that most of us don't want to put in the reps. We want to do something for 30 days and it's not working, want to give up and get mad. This is the same thing I hear that I've tried everything. I've tried everything. I've done everything. No, you freaking haven't. You don't have that much time to try everything and to be in the right mindset when you try everything. And also, you can't try everything at the same time because that definitely won't work. You probably don't have the team to help you try everything. You don't have the stamina to try everything. You are trying one thing at a time, hopefully for at least 90 days, to see if that actually even works. So no, being an entrepreneur is not for everyone. It is not the easiest job in the world. It is the most rewarding when you are present and you get to share your presence with others. It's the most rewarding when your goal is to serve and support others. And yes, it is to make a living as well. It's not just like, let me just do all this for free. I love this so much, I would do it for free. No, that's not what this is. This is serving and supporting others and also making a living by doing that. But the bigger picture, the bigger why, the bigger intention, that is the purpose. That is why you're doing it. And you just are so lucky enough to get freaking paid for it as well. So if you've ever had this situation where you're like, I don't even know if I'm meant to do this, let me ask you a couple questions. Number one, do you have support? Did someone fill your head that this was going to be a cakewalk and it's not? Because I will tell you, going on almost 10 years in this business, first business I learned how to do everything wrong in, but I had no support except a business partner in the other business. This business, I have had consistent support throughout the almost 10 years. And I would not still be here if that were not the case. Support is huge. Community is huge. Having someone who will tell you like it is, even when you don't want to hear it, is huge. Working on your emotional intelligence, your personal growth is huge. But a lot of us don't want to do that. We just want to do the doers. We want to check the boxes and then get mad when it doesn't work. You don't even really like doing some of the stuff that you're doing. I don't even like some of the stuff that I was doing. But guess what? I find a way to enjoy every bit of the process. Do I still hate the whole financial thing and looking at books and numbers? Yeah, it's not my thing. But I put myself in the mindset that, you know what? I have a bank account in my business that money comes into consistently. I have monthly recurring revenue that comes in consistently. And I am going to make the best of this situation when I sit down to do my books, when I sit down to review my financials. But so many of us are not finding the joy in the mundane. We're not finding the joy in the day to day. And this probably stems that we're also not doing this in our life, because I think when you decide to do this in your life, it's going to bleed over into everything that you do. And I'm going to tell you, a happier, more joyful, more fulfilled business owner is probably almost always going to be more successful and sell more than somebody who literally gets up every single morning, dreads going to their desk, dreads writing a piece of content, dreads getting on social media, dreads all the to-do lists. It's just the energy. It's just different, and it's going to come across at every single thing that you do. So I really want you to think about this. If you feel like, I don't know if I'm meant to do this, do you have support? Are you utilizing the support? You can pay for it all day long. But if you don't use it, it doesn't do you any good. Are you asking for your blind spots and the holes to be seen that you're not seeing? Are you asking for strategy? It makes the whole life cycle of being a business owner so much more complete and also